Testing. Crunch.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our first ever draft on this channel. It is spooky season, and we thought it'd be fun to have a spooky little draft.
I'm excited for this one. Spooky horror themed drafts, Halloween themed drafts. And we are not saying giraffe, D-R-A-F-T-S.
So they're all gonna be spooky-ish.
There's 6 categories. We're picking the top 5 of each category. We're going to go back and forth with whoever starts so that there's no advantage. So Pat will start with 3 and I'll start with 3. And we have prepared 8 options just so we back up. We have not shared these with each other yet. Weeks and weeks of research has gone into this.
Which category did you want to start with?
I think we should start with horror villains.
Category 1. Horror villains. Any villains in any horror. And you, my lovely wife.
By luck of random draw,
start.
Patrick is starting.
No, you're starting.
Okay, fine.
Your first pick.
Okay. My first pick, I'm going with Michael Myers.
That was my first choice, but okay. It's already a war.
Yes, this is how it's gonna go.
Okay, so I will choose Freddy Krueger.
I figured you would. My second pick, I have to go with Ghostface.
Asterix. Which Ghostface?
No, Ghostface the character. Played by many different people.
Okay.
Which is part of the charm.
Fair enough. But if you had to just choose a particular Ghostface.
Oh, who my favorite is?
Yeah, I assume you were.
I wasn't, but I do have a soft spot for Matthew Lillard.
Of course.
So,
we all love Stu.
But it includes all of the Ghostfaces.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my number 2.
Okay. Then my number 2 is going to be Charles Lee Ray, better known as Chucky.
I figured. Okay, I did have him on my list, but I knew you love him, so I didn't think I would get him. That's okay, because my third pick. I decided to shake it up with a classic, Dracula.
Nice.
I'm rounding up my list.
So my third pick, it's kind of unconventional. The Overlook Hotel from The Shining.
Oh, interesting.
Which is, the hotel itself seems to be an evil presence trapping spirits within it, and has designs of its own and wants of its own.
Okay.
I've always found it to be utterly terrifying, claustrophobic. It's a scary place that seems to have a will of its own.
Okay, you're going to hate me for this next pick.
Oh, God.
But I'm taking Sam from Trick or Treat.
No, you haven't even seen Trick or Treat.
I know, but he's adorable. I've seen part of it.
You've seen that part of it. Dang it, I had him on here. Then I'm going to go with Pennywise the Dancing Clown.
That was going to be my next.
Yeah, but you got to go with either incarnation, Tim Curry or Bill Skarsgård. They're both great.
I'm scared.
Yeah, you're terrified of him. Iconic. Either way, so yeah, I'm choosing Pennywise.
I'm gonna go with...
Is this your final?
This is my final, and I'm gonna... Okay, I have 2. One of them, I'm not sure if it counts because, I don't know, it's kind of a horror film, but it's also, not a fully a horror film, but I think she's terrifying. So you tell me if I can choose it. The Other Mother from Coraline.
Oh yeah, 100%.
She's terrifying.
Yeah, Coraline's a horror movie, for sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So that is my 5th pick.
Okay. This one's very personal to me. I'm choosing Slappy from Goosebumps. Whether it's the novels, the old TV show, or that movie, he is always scary. Ventriloquist dummies terrify me. And Slappy, those covers from the 90s and the early 2000s, his face on those covers, utterly horrifying.
No, you're right.
It's the scariest interpretation, which is why every time he's on screen, they don't use that design. Because that would be scary.
Does he ever even kill anyone? Or is he just scary?
He's just scared. He just torments people for what he takes people's souls, I think, right?
Oh, yeah. And can't he, trap them
in a dummy?
In a doll?
He put Hayden Christensen turned him into a dummy.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. But, I have
a fate worse than death.
A vivid memory of, I think it's Night of the Living Dummy 2, if my childhood self recalls, where a little girl has him, and she puts him in her closet because he starts, talking to her and stuff. And he's just in the closet whispering to her in the middle of the night. And that's terrifying. Or like he's on her arm and he's like hurting people and they think she's doing it. And he's saying awful things and she can't get him off.
Okay.
Oh my God.
This is another category
Oh my
we're getting
God.
into.
Slappy's terrifying. Great villain. He's Goosebumps' icon as far as I'm concerned.
All right, so that is our drafts for horror villains.
Yep. So let us know of that draft.
We could say that. Oh, okay.
Who do you think?
Yeah.
For each of these, we'll
Yeah.
ask who you think actually has the better team, and it's
Yes.
more of just like general vibes, not who would like win a fight.
Yeah, not in a fight, because not all of these are like characters.
Yeah, the Overlook isn't
Just
gonna
who do you
rumble.
think has the best draft? Also, who would be in your draft?
Yeah.
Let us know who would be your top 5. Next category is monsters. Supernatural monsters. Not from the TV show necessarily, just like supernatural in general. So it's your turn to go first.
Vampires.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, vampires are awesome. They're awesome. They have outlived most other monsters as far as relevance because they can adapt so easily to the times. Like there are so many different versions. Love them or hate them.
They're iconic.
Yeah, and they're usually always great, except for the few exceptions that don't use them well.
My number 1 is witches. It's witch season. Just as iconic, if not more, than vampires. Just an FYI. They're everywhere.
That's fair. I do love a good witch. My next choice is going to be ghosts.
I was afraid you'd say that.
Because ghosts are scary because they were people. And,
And they're just great. Casper, the friendly ghost.
Casper,
I was really hoping you were going to
Slimer.
say ghost next, because I was going to take ghost next.
I got ghosts.
Zombies.
Interesting. Like
Zombies. Also used in a variety of
It's
ways.
true.
Some funny, some terrifying, some in the middle.
Some slow, some fast.
But it's like the classic go-to. You're not sure what to put, just make it a zombie.
That's fair. I'm gonna go with werewolves.
A werewolf.
They're pretty iconic, pretty
They are
classic. They bring a lot of drama, a lot of potential psychological stuff too. Like I think they're fun. I think I'm going on record. The best designed werewolves ever put to screen are in Van Helsing. Those things look awesome.
My number 3 is gremlins.
Oh, son of a!
Those funky little guys are so spunky. How can you not like gremlins?
It's like one of my favorite Christmas movies. All right. I'm gonna go with mummies because they're also iconic. You got the classics and the bandages. You got Emotep in the 1999 movie. Always iconic. Always. Under Wraps on Disney Channel. Come on.
We have 2 left. I have 2 left. You have 1 left, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna go with sirens.
Interesting. What do you like about sirens?
It's like gives a spooky vibe to like the sea. Like, why can't the ocean be spooky? Mermaids aren't all they're cracked up to be. Maybe they're a little creepy. Maybe they want to kill you. Maybe they want to trap you. Who's to say?
I like it.
Sirens.
I'm going. My last pick is going to be demons. Because I feel like demons are usually some of the scariest of supernatural creatures when they're used effectively. Like it's very, it's invasive. It's very, there's that fear of not being able to control your own body, which is scary.
I don't have another one. I realized I didn't have enough, and you took like 5 of mine. So I'm trying to think of other ones.
You got
Like, what
this.
is there? Pixies, fairies, but they're not creepy, but it doesn't have to be. I wouldn't say it has to be.
Yeah,
but I feel like it's
supernatural
implied.
creatures.
I feel like it's implied. But, like, I'm, like, drawing a blank.
What about Wendigo?
Like, just help me think of a few.
Sure. Krakens.
Kind of sick.
Phoenix. Dragons. Is that supernatural? That's
Right.
more
It's like,
fantasy.
where do you draw the line between
Yeah.
fantasy and supernatural?
You could do like a Frankenstein. You could do skeletons, I suppose.
Skeletons. And my 5th and final pick, skeletons. We do have a skeleton as part of our family.
We literally have one in our
I
house.
was just gonna say, should we make this public?
Yeah, sure, why not? We have a
We
skeleton.
literally have skeletons in our closet.
Yeah, there's a skeleton that we just have in our home at all times named Kenneth. He's like our roommate, our housemate. Doesn't pay any rent. But we also don't have to feed him.
Yeah, so I gotta pay him tribute.
Yeah, I'll put a picture up of good old Kenny.
Yeah, I can find a good one. Okay, so that's our monster, supernatural monster category.
Mm-hmm.
The next category is Tim Burton movies.
Okay.
Directed by?
Oh, okay.
Right?
Are we putting that little
I
asterisk?
think we have to,
So
because
we're
otherwise it's
excluding
like,
Nightmare Before Christmas.
unfortunately, yes.
All
Because
right.
we'd be like clawing for that one, but
True.
he didn't direct it. My first pick is Beetlejuice.
That was my first pick as well.
Right? Because it's a classic. I know it's like a cult classic and everybody loves it. So I picked that one as number one. And it's like very nostalgic.
It's a good movie. You were terrified of it,
Yep, sure was.
and you still are kind
For
of.
good reason. But I still enjoy it.
Right. It just scares
Like
you.
it's one of those where I enjoy being scared by it.
Right. My number one pick now for Tim Burton would be Batman Returns, which I think is an amazing Batman movie. The villains are incredible. Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, Danny DeVito's Penguin. Come on, the vibes. That one is Tim Burton bringing more Tim Burton to Batman. Whereas the original Batman, he's a little tied down, but that one he's like full on Tim Burton. Love it.
Yeah, that was my next. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go with Alice in Wonderland. It's close to my heart. I love that story. I like the animated a little better than the live action, but there's some like cool stuff that he did in the live action. He changed a bunch of it, and I think it's pretty cool. It's still got that Tim Burton feel. So I'm gonna go with Alice in Wonderland.
Okay. I'm going to go with Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, which is a great musical. It's a disturbing story. I know he cut a lot from the play, but as far as a movie goes, I think it's good. It's handled well. Fun time. Alan Rickman, rest in peace.
Speaking of rest in peace, I'm going with Frankenweenie for my third.
Nice.
Underrated
Oh, yeah.
animated film.
Big time.
If you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's got some good jokes in it. Very funny, very cute, very heartwarming.
Mhm.
There's zombies in it, so what's not to love?
For my third pick, I'm going to go with Corpse Bride, which is another stop motion Tim Burton movie. I think it's a funny movie. It's romantic. It's creepy. It's very Tim Burton, and I like that about it.
I'm gonna go with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Interesting.
I know it's weird, and I know it's not as good as the original, but it's one of those where people love to hate it almost, and it's like a fun watch, a bit unsettling, which I think is what Tim Burton's all about. And it's still Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Great story, very interesting, very creepy.
I'm gonna go with Sleepy Hollow, which I think is a really good interpretation of that story. It's also like fun in like a old school horror kind of way with all the like blood. It's a lot like old Hammer horror films where the blood is like it's like gratuitously bloody, but like the blood looks fake and it's like fun. He's chopping off heads. And it's a good time.
For my final pick, I have to go with Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
Beautiful movie, beautiful music, beautiful story, and it's like quintessential Tim Burton.
It's very true. My final pick, I'm going to choose Batman 1989. It's kind of what launched Tim Burton to like the mainstream map. I don't know if that's actually particularly true. He did Beetlejuice before that, but this was like a huge blockbuster movie. I mean, Jack Nicholson's Joker, iconic. Tim Burton really, at that point in time, showed that superheroes could be taken seriously, which temporarily they were for a bit on film before they, Batman turned into what it did later on. Yeah, no, it's a great movie. A lot of Prince songs. It's fun.
Honorable mention for me, Miss Peregrine's
I was thinking
Home
of
for
that.
Peculiar Children.
Yeah,
I
it's a
liked that
solid movie.
I liked it. I enjoyed that movie, but I almost picked it. But
You know what I'm not ever going to put on a Tim Burton list? Mars Attacks. That movie messed me up as a kid. That was like the scariest thing in the world.
I mean, that's what this is all
Those
about.
guys just like murdering. Oh my god. Terrifying.
Okay, nice. So that's our Tim Burton movie, directed by Tim Burton. So, Halloween specials.
So it's any TV show, right, that has Halloween episodes?
Yes.
I'm going to go with Family Matters. I had 2 Halloween episodes with Stevel, the ventriloquist dummy, which absolutely traumatized me as a child. If you haven't figured it out, I hate ventriloquist dummies. I think they're terrifying, and Stevel was part of that. And then Carlsbad. It's scary stuff, but it's also hilarious now. But at the time, no.
No. For my first, I'm gonna go with The Simpsons, Treehouse of Horror. The one, I mean, they're all great. Yeah. But I'm just the one where Homer sells his soul for a donut. It's so iconic. But they're all amazing. And Treehouse of Horror was legitimately scary.
Sometimes, yeah. I'm gonna choose the Fairly Odd Parents episode where Timmy wishes that Halloween was real and scary, and so all the kids get turned into the monsters that they're dressed up as, and except Timmy's like a mummy and he's like rotting away, and then there's these kids are dressed up as like a giant robot, so they all turn into like a robot that's gonna blow up the earth. It's like a whole thing. It was pretty good. It's very memorable to me from childhood.
Okay, this is a more recent. I'm going with the Stranger Things Ghostbusters episode from season 2.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole show's amazing.
That's a good call.
But that's a good episode, and it fits right in perfectly.
I'm going to go with the Supernatural episode from season 4 called It's the Great Pumpkin, Sam Winchester. And that whole show is Halloween vibes pretty much, but that episode is the first proper Halloween special of the show. And they only did a couple where Sam and Dean have to fight Sam Hain, who is the demon that created how that Halloween was created around. So it dives into the origins of Halloween. A lot of fun stuff. Dean getting harassed by an astronaut kid that wants candy. It's a whole thing.
My number 3 is Gravity Falls Summerween.
Oh my god. Just give her this point already. That's a great one.
Great episode. It's inspired many others to have a Summerween of their own. Very creepy too. Like, yet again, creepy. A lot of these ones, especially the kid ones, they are legitimately scary.
Oh yeah. I'm about to get into one of those.
Oh boy.
Amphibia's The Shut-In.
I have that on my list. I was afraid
The Shut-In.
No.
That's a great episode because it's just them
that one's
doing
so
their
scary.
own version of like Halloween kind of where they're telling scary stories, and you get like an anthology of creepy stories. And the one with the seamstress.
Honestly, all of them though.
Yeah,
but yes, the seamstress.
That one's
frog,
so scary.
Yes. But even like the Hop Pop stories.
The Hop Pop's creepy.
And the phone
phone one's creepy too.
Yeah.
That's a fun one though. I love the vibe.
We're not counting Muppets Haunted Mansion. I just wanted to ask about that, unless we are.
I don't think we are.
Because it's not like a TV show.
Yeah.
I just wrote it down just in case I wanted to nab it. I'm going to go with Parks and Rec, the Greg Pakaitis episode. I know you're not the biggest Parks and Rec fan.
No, I mean, I watched
but it's just funny. That one's not even that scary, but it's funny, and it's on Halloween. He, with the peach pit. With Ring a Bell. He's vandalizing it's funny. You had to be there.
So is this my final pick?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go with Rugrats with the Chucky turning into a werewolf.
A werewolf.
A werewolf. That's iconic.
That is iconic, and we honestly quote that
a
couple times a week.
It's true. We say werewolf a lot.
My final one is just a SpongeBob episode, the Scaredy Pants one, where he's got the sheet on him.
Trying to be with those shoes.
Yes.
Honorable mention for me is that Hey Arnold episode where they all dress up like aliens and they convince the town. And Helga's dad
is so good in that one.
Helga's dad is gonna kill her. Go, humans, go! Fight! That's a great one.
It's so good.
No, that's a great one. What's the next category?
I think we should do witches next.
Okay.
And then save the other one for last.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be scared. Okay. Oh, is it me first?
Sure.
Okay. My first. Oh boy. This is going to be hard to choose. Because I listed them, but I didn't fully decide which one I wanted to say first. Okay. I'm going with Hermione Granger as my first one.
Okay. Okay.
And I know there's another witch that we're thinking of, but I'm going with Hermione first because she really pulled through for that trio.
Okay. Okay.
Like, they would have been absolutely screwed without her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just a great witch
It's true.
in all aspects.
You know who else is a great
I
witch
know.
in Hogwarts?
I know.
Minerva McGonagall. Rest in peace. Oh my God, we just found out today. Maggie Smith, R.I.P. Legend. And Minerva McGonagall was awesome, right? She was also super witchy vibe. She had that hat sometimes.
She was super witchy.
She could turn into a cat.
I know.
She was a vibe.
She was a vibe.
And like her whole, she summons the army of statues. I always wanted to use that spell. Like she was awesome, all right?
Yeah.
And like the whole, the Yule Ball, and to do that whole scene where she's
My waist.
yeah, my waist.
My waist.
What? Like that's iconic. And like
Yeah.
my phone auto corrected her to Minerva my Ghana gal.
My Ghana gal.
My Ghana gal. But yeah, Minerva McGonagall,
Yeah.
gotta put her
Yeah,
on
she
there.
was on my list too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How dare you disrespect her?
I know. It's bad
Her
timing.
memory, how dare you?
It's bad timing, but Hermione Granger is like one of the greatest witches of all time.
That's true. That's fair.
Okay, so my number 2 is an iconic witch, Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West from Wizard of Oz.
As most famously portrayed by Mila Kunis in Oz the
Sure,
Great
yeah,
and
most
Powerful.
famously. Most famously. I mean, when you think of a witch, like,
Yeah.
she's the witch
She's
that
kind
you
of,
think
yeah,
of.
she's like the set the standard.
Like, she's got the broom, she's got the green face, she's got the flying monkeys.
the nose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like an iconic witch.
Then I'm gonna have to choose, and this one, I feel like it's a package deal, but I'm willing to take one of them. But the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, that is a little cheap.
It's, I mean, if you got all the ghost faces, for which there are like
Okay, but
8.
okay, fine. I'll give it to you.
But if I had to choose a winner for it's the
Of
icon.
course,
the
of
icon.
course. But you know what? I'll give all 3 to you.
Thackeray. Yeah, I choose. She's an icon. And all the sisters are icons. That sequel is terrible, but that's besides the point.
Okay, my 3rd witch is Scarlet Witch.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite MCU characters. I dressed up as her for Halloween one year. She's like one of the most powerful characters, if not the most powerful character. Argue about that in the comments. And she's great. She can be evil, she can be good, she can be in the middle.
I'm gonna go with Melisandre from Game of Thrones, the Red Priestess.
I didn't really like her that much.
Yeah, she's a badass though. You know, she's not nice. She burned a child.
Yep.
But you know, the Wicked Witch of the West killed Munchkin.
Yeah, but in a fun way.
Yeah, Melisandre. She left an impression. She was a memorable character. She was doing bad things in service of stopping the
night is dark and
apocalypse.
full of terrors.
The night is dark and full of terrors. She gave birth to a shadow baby that assassinated a guy. She's actually old and crony when she takes off her necklace. Like,
Yeah, she doesn't give me witch vibes though.
well, she doesn't give you witch vibes. She like is a witch. She like does dark magic.
It's more like,
Extremist priest.
yeah, exactly.
That's fair. But she's a witch.
My 4th is gonna have to go with Sabrina Spellman.
Sabrina Spellman, praise Satan.
Praise Satan. Iconic modern day witch. She's just trying to live her life as a teenager and like be a witch, but also be like a normal girl. Tale as old as time.
And you like both versions, I assume.
Yeah, I used to watch the classic when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager witch myself.
When Salem could talk.
Those were the days. Those were the days.
I'm gonna go with Bonnie Bennett from the Vampire Diaries. Like, you want to talk about a witch that came in clutch and saved characters over and over, got no appreciation. People were murdering her family, they were murdering her boyfriends, and she was constantly just showing up, performing spells, sacrificing herself. What an icon. Didn't get the respect she deserved.
But they use her blood all the time on Legacies.
They use her blood. That Bennett blood is everywhere.
comes in clutch.
It's everywhere. We just got some in the closet. Like, what? Wait, is Bonnie in there?
Just get some funny blood. Like what? How do you just keep getting it? Okay, I'm actually getting all my top 5 in this round.
That's wild. That's wild.
My 5th and final choice is Ursula the Sea Witch.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Like I said, we can have Supernatural of the Ocean, okay? She's iconic. She's great. I wish she was my grandma. I wish she was my aunt. Yeah, she'd give good fashion advice. She wouldn't hold back. She would be honest.
She's an octopus.
She doesn't dress well herself. Well, she does the best she can. Life's full of tough choices.
Oh my god.
It's also one of my favorite Disney songs.
Oh yeah, you sing it all the time.
So good.
My final choice then is going to be the White Witch from the Chronicles of Narnia.
She's creepy.
Creepy villain, great villain, memorable.
Turkish delight, anyone?
Turkish delights, creepy stuff, and just her like castle of frozen people. She was a good bad guy.
I feel like you would give off Edmund vibes.
That's the most insulting thing you've ever said to me. I am not an Edmund.
In a good way.
There is no good Edmund way. That guy's a little shit.
I feel like I could see you frolicking off with the White Witch for some Turkish delight.
And get abused by her?
No, not...
Betray my family?
But that doesn't... The abuse isn't Edmund's fault.
No, but he also should have run off with a creepy witch.
Anyway, those are our top 5 witches. Let us know in the comments who you think
I'm
is
surprised neither of us said Agatha Harkness.
You know, I thought about it, but I figure Scarlet Witch is like one of my favorite characters.
She is great.
But Agatha's up there as
Agatha's more
honorable
classically
mention.
Witch. Yeah.
Davina I had as an honorable mention. I had McGonagall too.
Yep.
Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service.
That's a good choice.
She's a great witch and she delivers well.
I should have done, what's her name? The Witch of the Swamp from Howl's.
Oh yeah,
she's
great.
Just for the iconic old woman
the
race.
Steps.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. The final category: scariest scenes.
And they can be from movies,
from
shows,
anything.
books, anything.
Books, I didn't even think about.
I didn't think about books either, but just in case you did, I figured I'd throw it out there.
All right, go ahead.
My first choice, and some of this is going to have to be explaining it, and Casey's face is going to be just...
Yeah, I will say this. Pat does have the advantage. I am a wuss, and I do not watch a lot of scary movies. So there's actually a lot of really scary scenes that are probably the most scary that I haven't seen. So I'm sure that I'm going to say some that you guys are going to be like,
that's not scary.
That's not even scary. So just bear with me.
Okay, I'm going to start with, and yeah, it's funny, when I made this list, I wasn't worried at all that you were going to take any of these, because like she would never watch this. Yeah, so there's a movie called Sinister. And an author is looking for a new subject to write about. They move into a new house, and he finds this box of old film reels in the attic. And he starts playing them, and late at night he gets a little glass of scotch, and his family's asleep, and he's just doing a little research.
Sounds like something you do.
It sounds like something I do, which literally, I saw this movie in 2012, and my friend turns to me and he goes, "This is you in 20 years." And I'm like, don't say that! Don't say that! Especially because the reels are like old home video footage. Mm-hmm. So it says things like pool party, sleepover, mowing the lawn. And it's like, it's just when he puts these reels on, the movie just lets you watch the reels with him. And it's just silent reels. And you're just watching, and it seems like the one that got me, and that still haunts me to this day, is mowing the lawn. You're just watching someone mowing the lawn from the perspective of them mowing the lawn. And it's just silent, and you're just watching them mowing the lawn. You're waiting for something to happen, and then there's a tied-up body on the ground right in front of the lawnmower. All of a sudden, it's shot. And every single one of those tapes has some horrifying murder on it, and it's terrifying.
I don't understand, like, how are the murders, like, being shown?
By a camera.
But who? Like what?
Whoever filmed it. Whoever did the murder was filming it.
Is it the same person every time, or
no? It's different families.
What's like the? I guess
so. There's a supernatural entity that's controlling children to kill people. You find out.
And so like the lawnmower one, like that someone like killed them and then started mowing their lawn.
No, they tied them up and then killed them with a lawnmower.
Got it.
Yeah, it was messed up, and it stuck with me for a long time.
All right, so
what's yours?
My number one is a classic. Georgie had the storm drain in it.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying. Anything with kids freaks me out extra. Just like the innocence of it.
Right.
Like they didn't do anything to deserve this.
Yep.
They don't know what's going on. So like they don't even know to be scared, which to me is scarier when like people like aren't scared but they should be. Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And just that scene is terrifying to me.
Yep.
Like,
it's a classic. Like,
yeah.
It's an iconic image.
I'm not even going to describe more of it because I'm sure a lot of you have seen it and I'm scared. That's my number one.
If you're picking up any weird grumbling sounds, it's our St. Bernard in the background sleeping and snoring, so apologies. But it adds a little extra.
Yeah, it's spooky.
It's a monster. My next choice for scariest scenes. There's a movie called Insidious. Child is haunted and by multiple ghosts, and they start tormenting this family trying to get this child. Rose Byrne is downstairs. She's the mom. She's playing the piano, and they have a baby, and like they have a young baby too. She's playing the piano downstairs, and the baby monitor is next to the piano, and you start to hear like whispers from the baby monitor, and she's like, what the heck? And then she looks at it, and you start to hear more like actual words, and it's like, and she's listening, and she takes the baby monitor, starts walking towards the steps, looking upstairs, like, what the hell is this? And you start to hear, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. And she runs up the stairs into the baby's room, sees there's nobody there, looks, the baby's fine. Suddenly there's a face in the window, and all the house alarms start going off, and the doors are open, and it's terrifying. Your face right
I just feel like we don't have to describe completely the scene in all of these. Like we can just be like, oh yeah, that movie.
Yeah.
That scene where this happens a little bit.
But this is kind of fun for me.
No, I'm sure it's super fun.
Just watching your eyes widen and like, please stop.
Okay, my number 2 is The Ring. The girl crawling out of the TV.
Classic.
I still get scared by it. If this hasn't happened in a while, and I like because of like direct TV and stuff, but whenever there's like static on a TV, I'm terrified and I'll have to turn it off.
Like in Poltergeist.
Like in The Ring.
Yeah.
But yes, I know Poltergeist came first, but like The Ring terrified me. Poltergeist was kind of fun. Spooky.
Yeah.
The Ring? No. Her crawling out of the TV with the hair?
No bueno.
No, that's my number 2.
My number 3 is going to be the typewriter scene in the show.
I was surprised this wasn't number 1 for you.
When she finds that Jack has spent the entirety of the movie where he's supposed to have been writing, he's just been writing the same sentence over and over, all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy. And just the idea that he spent hours upon hours upon hours thinking he was writing his like novel, and he was really just writing that and losing his mind, becoming murderous. Terrifying. So terrifying. And what a great scene. Jack Nicholson's so scared. I'm not gonna hurt you, sweetheart. I'm just gonna bash your brains out. Like, so scary.
Oh my god. My number 3 is the closet scene in Halloween.
Ooh, okay.
Like at the end with Michael Myers.
He's chasing her.
Yes, because it's like, first of all, I have claustrophobia.
Sure.
That's actually the only part. I have claustrophobia. I mean, that's scary. I'm not going to describe them all like him. I'm not a writer.
All right, my 4th pick is going to be the hand clapping scene from The Conjuring. Specifically one moment in particular, which is so they're playing a game which I would never recommend, but it was the 70s. So I'm sure they didn't have anything better to do. The family's like, we're going to play hide and seek. And when I clap, you have to clap, so you're like hinting where you are, you know? And so the mom is looking for the daughters, and she claps, and you hear them clap, and she goes up to a room, and she's looking around, she's looking around, and you see the wardrobe behind her open, like it's just in the background, and she claps, and then you see 2 arms emerge from the wardrobe, and clap, and she goes over to the wardrobe, and there's nobody in there, obviously. You know, but it was so scary. Just a little subtle thing in the background. It was like, no. I love it. Terrifying.
My number 4 is, I forget which Scream it is. But it's the one where like they're locked in the car and like Ghostface is like passed out in the driver's seat. It's in a police car. And I think it's Sydney at this point. I don't know if it's one of the newer ones, but I think it's Sydney or maybe just another girl. Maybe it's another girl because I feel like she might die. I forget. But I blocked it out. She's like in the back seat of the police car, and she saw, like, obviously the doors are locked from the inside, so she can't. So she realizes she has to crawl through the front.
Yes.
So she has to crawl like over Ghostface, and he's
yes.
unconscious. And the whole time I'm like sweating, like he's gonna wake up.
That is.
It's definitely not the first one.
No, it might be like 4.
Yeah, it's like in the middle.
Yeah.
But I think about that all the time. Like I was like, nope, I wouldn't do it. I would just simply pass away.
My last choice, I think it's going to be from The Strangers when they first show up at the house. And I'm talking the original Strangers, not the remake that came out this year with our girl Cheryl Blossom. The original one where they get the knock on the door and they go over, you don't see the person's face, and they're like, is so-and-so home? No. Are you sure? And then like they close the door on them, and then they knock again. Is so-and-so home? No. Like, and they just keep, like, the beginning of the torment of those people just tormenting them is such a scary start. And you realize they intentionally unscrewed the light bulb in the front patio so that the guy couldn't see their face. Like, just the idea that they're just out there, like, tormented is so creepy to me. Like, the Strangers gets me more than most movies because it's...
Yeah, you don't like the idea of being watched in your own home.
No, like,
I mean, who does?
The
but
idea
like...
of being home and, like, someone's outside your window and you don't see them there. Like, right there.
Yes. But we have a St. Bernard who would probably sense it, and he would bark.
Yeah, that's snoring St. Bernard.
Wake up, Yogi.
Yeah, no, it's a scary movie, but it's a great movie.
My last one, I don't know if you've actually seen this movie. This might be one I've seen that you haven't seen. Have you seen Ghost Ship?
No.
Okay, well, if you've seen it, you would know that it's scary because obviously there's a ghost on the ship, and
I would hope so.
I hope it does. And the history of it is that there's like this gala or something, like very Titanic vibe. There's like they like hit something or something happens. They're like all dancing in the ballroom, and like a cord breaks, and it like comes down, and it goes through the whole hallway, and it slices everybody in half. There. Except for a little girl who's too short to be sliced.
Oh my god.
And so she's like scared, and then she looks, and then all of a sudden, all at once, you just start to hear like the flops of every like buddy like
oh my god
flopping down. And it's terrifying.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like, and she's like the only survivor.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Wow.
You should watch it.
Yeah, that sounds intense.
That's my final one.
Yeah. So let us know who won that category of scariest scenes. Let us know your scariest scenes that have terrified you. And that'll do it for the draft to kind of welcome in spooky season.
Ooh, I'll do a little background noise while you go. Go ahead, keep talking.
So yeah, hope you guys all find good ways to get spooked this October.
I'm a ghost.
You're a ghost. And this was fun. I liked it. We should do more drafts.
Ooh, let us know if you want more drafts. Ooh, what drafts would you want to see? Ooh.
Yeah, let us know if you want to see it.
I really wish I got ghosts on my draft. It was between saying witches first or ghosts. But if I didn't say if I said ghosts first, you would have taken witches, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, I have witches on my list.
So I knew. It was vampires, witches, and ghosts for the top 3 for both of us.
I mean, that's how it goes. I feel like those are the 3 most popular, most used, definitely.
And then there's werewolves, but I feel like
werewolves is a tier.
It's a slight tier below.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a good time.
Go watch a spooky movie or something. Go watch one of the things that we talked about. Maybe a Halloween special.
Go watch all the Screams and tell us which one had that scene.
Yes. We're going to go with number 4. I feel like that feels good.
I feel like I've seen that one maybe the least. I feel like that's why.
I feel like I've seen that one like twice. Like the one that I'm thinking of, I've seen like twice. I just don't know which one it is.
I remember that Emma Roberts is in that one, right? And Hayden Panettiere. And there's cops parked outside their house.
I feel like that's the one.
Yeah.
I think it might be Hayden that does it.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know. My memory is shot.
But I hope you all have a great day. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Boo!
Boo.